Now, what we have discussed in the last class, we have discussed the access specifier. So, in Java, 4 access specifiers are there: private, public, protected, and default. So, if you declare any member as a default access specifier, so that can be accessed in the same package. So that can be accessed in the same package. So, if you declare any member as private means that can be accessed only in the same class, that can be accessed only in the same class. Other than that class, we cannot access the private data member. And then if you declare any member as a public means, then that can be accessed from anywhere. So that can be accessed from anywhere. And then the protected data member. So this is somewhat different from C++. So in Java, the protected member can be accessed by all the classes in the same package. But in C++, only the derived class can access the protected data member. But in Java, all the classes can access the protected member of the same package. In different package, the class which is inherited from the class with the subclass. That means the subclass only can access the protected data member. So another package means only subclass can access the protected data member. Same package means all the classes can access the protected data member. And then that all 4 access specifier are possible for all elements. That means for a data member, function, for all elements, this all 4 access specifier are possible. But for class, only 2 access specifier are possible, that are only by public and default. And that if a class is an inner class means, then you can use all 4 access specifier. And if you declare any class as public means in a single program, if you declare any class as public means, then you should save your program with the same name of the class. Otherwise, you will get compile time error. Understood, Amma? Last class, we have seen these things only, no? Am I correct or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we will see methods. So I told you, Noma, that finalize method. What is the purpose of finalize method? Ma? Have you remembered the purpose of finalize?
Destructor.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Very good, ma. So it is similar to a destructor. So the memory in Java, we no need to explicitly delete the object. So it is automatically deleted when the object is no longer used. It is automatically deleted by the Java garbage collector. So for that, one function is automatically called. So that function is called the system.gc. So for performing a garbage collection, one function is automatically called. That function is called system.gc. And also you can also explicitly call the function. But even if you call the function explicitly, that is only decided by the JVM whether that GC has to be called or need not to be called. So that is only decided by JVM. Even if you are calling that system.gc method explicitly, that is only decided by the JVM. So here I will show you an example. Here a main function. So within that main function, I have created object for that class. Just to finalize, and then I have now that object is pointed by the pointer P. That is referred by the reference P. Actually, here we should not use the term of pointer because in Java there is no pointer concept. So now that object is referred by this reference P. After that, what I'm doing, I make it that P value is null. So now that object is not referred by any reference. So now that object is not used. So now I'm calling explicitly function the system.gc. So sometimes JVM immediately call the function, or sometimes that is only decided by the JVM. Sometimes the JVM may not call the GC, even if you have explicitly written. So when garbage collection, when object is removed means when garbage collection, when system.gc is called. So that time only the destructor, that is the finalize function, is invoked. So then the output is hi from finalize. I will show you. If I am not calling system.gc, what will happen? We will check it back. Sorry, I will share the entire screen. I just share the window. Already I have a program in my system itself. I will take the same program. Just to finalize. Okay. Now I'm not making a p equal to null. So I'm not making p equal to null. And then even I am calling that function system.gc explicitly. So now I will show you that output of this program. Colon Java program equal to colon Java Java C and then test to finalize dot Java test finalize. Now it is only displaying the message hi. Only it is just displaying the message hi. But if I make it the p value was null, so now it is print that hi and also hi from finalize message bar. So now the garbage it will call the garbage collector and the unused object is removed. So that time this finalize method is unused object of this test finalize class. No, so this the garbage collector delete the object of test finalize class. So the corresponding class finalize method is invoked. So that's why the hi from finalize method is printed. So now I will show you if I am not explicitly calling this function. If I am not calling this function, what will happen? Now this object is unused, but that JVM only decided at what time that the garbage collector has to be called, invoked. Understood what I'm telling you? Understood? Understood or not?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. One more time I will explain. Here I have a created object for which class? I have a created object for the test to finalize class. So within the test to finalize class, I have written the function finalize. So what is the purpose of this function finalize? The purpose of this function finalize similar to destructor as in your C++. Okay, so when object is deleted, so this method is invoked. But in C++, when object goes out of scope, that time itself destructor is invoked. But here, when object is removed from that memory, that time this function finalizes invoked. Okay. Here I have a created object for the class. After that, what I made means I made the p value was null. So initially, one object is created. So that object I will. Initially, one object is created. Wait. So initially one object is created. So that object is referred by the reference P. Okay, so now this is an object of a test finalized class. Now this is an object of test finalized class. So now that is referred by the reference P. Okay, so now this one, after that what I made means, for example, you assume the starting letters of this object is 200 means, now this P have 200. Now this P have value 200. Then what in the next step, what I'm doing, I make it the value of the P is null. So now this P is not pointing that object. Now the P is not pointing that object. So now this object is considered as, now this object is not referred by any other reference. This object is not referred by any other reference. No reference are referring this object. So that means no pointer are pointing this object. So now this object is considered as no longer used. So then what the JVM keep on perform that object removing process between some period of time. Okay, so now that is performed by calling the function system.gc. So that is also automatically called by JVM. You can also call the system.gc function explicitly. So here I have called the system.gc function explicitly. So now what it will do, it will perform the garbage collection. That is nothing but it is going to remove the unused memory. So now this is going to be removed. So now the object of test finalized class is removed. So then the corresponding function which I have written within the class test finalized, that is going to be invoked. So then hi from finalize will be printed. So here sometimes this message hi from finalize may not be displayed because calling the system.gc or may not call system.gc is only decided by JVM. So now you understood or not? Got it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, if two functions are there, whether two functions will be called or only one?
Two functions, where are two functions?
Like protected void finalize, like that another function is also there.
Protected void finalize, and if I return one more method,
one more method. Yes.
Yeah. That the condition,
not with the name finalize, ma'am. Other name.
But here for the destructor, this function name finalized you should use. Other than that, you cannot. The system.gc only can call the finalize method. When object is not system.gc, when object is removed, only it can call finalize method.
Okay.
Got it. And also, and that day I have mentioned what is the syntax of the finalize method. Protected void finalize. No. So while you write, that day I have mentioned the syntax of the finalize method is protected void finalize. So if any built-in function is there, you should override as similar as the same signature you have to use. There protected. Here also you have to use a protected, and void. Here also you have to use void, and then the name finalize. Here, if you try to write a public or something, public means you won't get error, but a private means you will get an error. So that I will explain later. But now how you have to override the method means in the same signature you have to use. There protected, you have to write a protected. The signature of the finalize method is protected void finalize. So you should write protected void finalize. So you cannot write private void finalize like that. So that I will explain later. Now you understood what is the purpose of finalize and when finalize method is invoked, that you understood, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here I'm calling system.gc. So what will happen? It will call the garbage collector. So that garbage collector remove this object. Who is that? Who is that? Here I'm calling system.gc method. So this system.gc will call the garbage collector. That garbage collector remove this object, unused object from memory. So when unused object is removed from memory, finalize method is invoked. Wait, I will. Here I am calling first object is created. So then I made that object value as null. So now this object is unused. This object is unused. Here I am calling that system.gc method explicitly. So when I am calling system.gc method explicitly, it will call the garbage collector. So then garbage collector remove this object from memory. So when object is removed from memory, it will call the corresponding class finalize method. So here the test finalize have this finalize method. So this method is invoked and then it will display hi from finalize. Sometimes the system.gc may not be invoked because so the calling of gc or may not calling the gc, that is decided by only the JVM. Okay, so got it, Appa?
Ma'am, if two objects are created and two objects are deleted, then whether the function will be called two times, ma'am?
Yes, sure. I will show you.
Okay.
This is a P1 object. Haripriyava, who is that? Haripriya. And then here I will make it a P2. P2 null. And then system.gc. Okay. Now can you see that output of this program? Hide. Can wait. Now can you see the output of this program? Two times that message hi from finalize is displayed, no ma. So here two objects are removed from memory. One is a P1, another one is P2. Got it, Appa?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have one doubt, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, while we're explicitly calling system.gc, will all the objects or references created until then will be deleted, ma'am? Is it like that?
Only for this, yes. System.gc, if you are calling system.gc means, it will, what is the purpose of that system.gc means, it will call the garbage collector. So what is the purpose of garbage collector? What are the reference, what are the object are unused still now that are all going to be deleted?
Unused in the sense, how will it decide it, ma'am? Like the one that is containing a null value, is it like that?
Unused means, I will explain. Actually, here one object is created, no pa? Here one object is created, no? Okay. So now, and I have created another reference. You assume, here the function, I write the class name test to finalize. Your full name I cannot write. So I will just write it. And then I create one reference obj, and then now that obj equal to p. So now what will happen? This both reference are pointing the same object, no? P and obj both are. First I have a created object for the class test to finalize. So now this test to final is pointed by P and also pointed by obj. Now am I correct or not, ma? Here I have a created object, so that is pointed by P. And next, I have stored that P value in obj. So now obj is also going to point the same. Am I correct or not?
Okay, ma'am.
Now, I made only the P value is null. I made only P value is null. So now, if I am calling system.gc, so now P is not pointing this, but still obj is pointing the object. So if I'm calling system.gc, this won't be removed because still it is referred by one object, one reference. Got it, Appa? But if I made both p equal to null and obj equal to null means obj both values are null means now this object is not referred by any other reference. So then this is considered as unused, unused object. Got it or not?
Oh, okay, ma'am. So it basically like deletes the data, I mean the object of the class,
Yes.
right, ma'am?
So if a reference, if no reference are pointing that object means that object is considered as
Okay,
unused.
ma'am. I got it, ma'am.
When garbage collector seeing that unused object, that removes that object from memory. So that time only the finalize method is invoked.
Okay, ma'am.
All
Ma'am,
are
one
clear?
more thing. Every class must compulsorily contain a finalize function, ma'am.
No need, no need, no need.
If not given, it will still take care,
It
ma'am.
won't. If you want to perform any operation while you deleting that while object is deleted means you can write that protect void finalize method, ma. The same signature you have to
Okay,
use.
okay, ma'am.
If you
Okay,
want
thank
to,
you, ma'am.
okay, ma. So if you want to
Ma'am,
perform, tell me, pa.
ma'am, yesterday you created a array of objects.
Yes, pa.
At that time, ma'am, you said that there will be pointing to null references.
Mm. Mm.
So in that
Yes.
case, if we are calling system.gc means will all the object will be deleted.
No, no, no. Initially, that references are having a null, but after that, by using for loop, we have to create an array of object. That array of object are going to be referred by that reference, no, ma, array of reference.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, suppose we are not doing that. I mean, we just delete. I mean, we just created those
If
array
you
of
are
objects.
not if you are not creating object, then there is no memory in object. There is no object in memory. No, if you are not creating object, then there is no object in memory. Then how it will be deleted? Only references are there. No, references is
Okay. Yes,
different
ma'am.
from.
Got it. Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
Got it. Got it. Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Am I everyone are clear about this finalize method? In C++, when object goes out of scope, that time itself it will call the destructor. But here, when object is deleted, that time only this finalize method is invoked, and that object is deleted. Whether that object is deleted or not deleted, that's only decided by the JVM. Okay, JVM only has to decide whether need to delete that object or need not to be delete that object. That is only decided by JVM. And you can also explicitly delete the object by calling system.gc, but that is invoking the GC is also decided by the JVM. And next topic, overloading method or method. You can say overloading methods or method overloading. So this is similar to your C++. What is mean by method overloading, ma? What is mean by method overloading? Function overloading. In C++, we have used the term. Tell me, ma.
Ma'am, functions with same name but different number and type of arguments.
Only the functions are all with the same name, but they are differentiated by their argument. That may be the type of argument or maybe the number of argument. So here I have a class called overload demo. So within that I have one function called test and one more function called test with the same name. But here this function does not have any argument and this function have a two argument. And here one more function test with one argument double. So this is called function overloading. But this Java is a fully object-oriented programming, so you should write everything within that class only. But in C++, outside of the class, you can write the many methods, but here everything should be within the class. So here the first method is with no argument, second method is with two integer argument, and third method is with one argument, the double type. Here I have another class called overload in the same program. I have another class called overload. So this class name is called overload demo. This overload demo only have three functions, three methods, and here within this overload method, I have written main function. So within this main function, I have a created object for which class? I have created object for overload demo. So now then I int I equal to, here I have declared one local variable to main function. So int I equal to 88. So this I is the local variable to main function. Now I am calling ob.test. So this ob is the object of which class? Overload demo. So now it will call the overload demo test class pass. So now what it will print? It will print no parameter. And then next I'm going to call ob.test10,20. So here I am passing two integer arguments. So now this function will invoke this function. So now it will print a and b colon 10 space 20. And now ob.test I. So what is the type of I? What is the type of I? The I type is integer. I type is integer. Here integer. But in this class, I have a method type double, test of double. But here what I am passing? Test of integer value I am passing. But here I am having test of double. Then this will work or not? This will work because we can convert integer to double. When compared to integer, the double size is high. When compared to source data type, the destination type is high. So then I can convert the integer to double. So automatic type conversion is performed. So this method will call this function, and then it will print inside double a, and then it will print the value 88. But here I am calling ob.test 132.2 means again this is also will call the same. So now same data type match. Here also double and here also double. By default in Java the constant are taken as a double data type. So this is also double and this is also double. But here I am passing integer that is automatically converted to double. But instead of a double here I am having an int instead of a double I am having an int data type. So now this program will compile or not instead of having a double I am having an int. This program will work or not
No ma'am.
No ma'am.
Why so this function call will work because here what is the type of I type is integer, and here also the parameter type is integer work. But here what is the type of this one double. So double and here what we are having int. So here a double to integer type conversion is not possible. So won't invoke if ob.test double won't invoke ob.test int, you will get an error. So incompatible types, possible lossy conversion from double to int. Got it, Amma? Got it or not?
Yes ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. And then next, here in Java there is no pointer concept, but in C++ two type of functions are there, two type of calling methods are there. One is call by value, another one is call by reference. So here what is called call by reference means if you are passing object as argument means that is called as call by reference. If you are passing value, integer, primitive data type value means that is called as call by value. So now we will see one example for call by value and then call by reference. Okay. And now here I have defined one class called test. So within the test I have one method, and that method have a two argument type int I, int j. Here what I am doing, I am multiplying I value by 2. Here I am dividing the j value by 2. So then I have created one more class. That class name is called call by value. So within that call by value class, I have main function. So within that main function, I have created object for which class? For this test class. So now by using this OB, I can access the member of that test class. So now here I have created two local variable that are integer variable. First variable value is 15 and second variable value is 20. And then first what it will print? It will print A and B before call. So what it will print? It will print 50 and 20 marks. So before calling the function, what is the value of A and B? 15 and 20. Now after that, I'm going to call the function method. And then I'm going to pass A and B as argument. So then what will happen? Control will come to here. So now what is the value of this I? I value is 15. I value is 15. And this J value is 20. I value is 15 and this J value is 20. So now I am multiplying that I value by 2 pa. So what will happen? This is I value become 30. So I become 30. And I am dividing the 20 by 2. So then what will happen? The J become 10. Now that will be reflected in that A and B. Appa. So if I am multiplying and dividing that I and J, no, that will be reflected in this A and B of main function. Ma?
No.
No, ma'am.
No. Why? Because this I and J are local variable to main meth function. This A and B are local variable to main function, and you are passing that A and B value that is assigned to I and J. So whatever the changes you have made in this function, that is only reflected in this I and J, not in this A and B. So after calling that function, again that A and B value are 15 and 20 pa. So A and B before call 15 and 20, A and B after call 15 and 20 pa. And then next, we will see pass object reference part. So now, this is the test method. So within that I have two member data A and B, and then next this is an constructor. So that member data are initialized by using this constructor. And then here I have a member function meth, and that member data are multiplied with the 2, and the member data are divided by with the 2 pa. Divided by 2. And now here one more class, pass obj reference. So within that I have a main function. So within this main function I have a created object for which class? I have created object for a test class. Now this will call the constructor. So it will call the constructor. So now that class data member, that is OB, I have created object OB, no? So that OB have a 2 member, because OB is the object of which class? Test class. So the test class have 2 member, A and B. So now OB have 2 member, A and then B. A and B. Now what does this value of A become? A become 15. OB A value become 15. Constructor initialize A value was 15 and B value was 20. So now OB A value is 15, OB B value was 20. Now afterwards, it will print the system.out.println OB.A and OB.B before calling the function. So it will print 15 and 20 mark. So now what I am calling OB.meth, and here what I am passing the same OB object as argument. So then what will happen? It will come to here. So it will come to here. Now here what O. Here what is this O? Now if I am changing anything in this object O.A, that is also reflected in OB. Why? Because here what I am doing, if I am passing OB value, no, so that is going to be assigned to O. So now one more reference that is also pointing the same object. So first OB is pointing this object. Initially OB pointed this object. Now one more object O, that is also going to, one more reference is also going to point. Got it or not, pa? Got it or not, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now if I do any changes in this O.A, that is also affected OB.A, because both are pointing the same object. So now if you change O.A value, then OB.A value is also changed. Both are same only, no? So now this value become 20 and this value become 30 and this value become 10. So now when I print ob.a and ob.b after function call, what I will get? I will get 30 and 10. Okay, Mama?
Ma'am, can you explain reference once, ma'am?
Okay, pa. Wait. Here class test that have a 2 data member and it have one constructor and it have one method. Okay, ma? And that method type is the same class object, same class test reference. Ma. So here I have one more class pass object reference. Within that I have a main function. So here what I'm doing, ma, I'm creating object for which class? I'm creating object for test class. So that test class have 2 data member. So memory is created for the 2 data member A and B. So now that is referred by which reference, ma? That is referred by this OB. Here I have a created, no? So that created object. So that is A and B created. So now that is referred by OB. That is referred by OB. And now when object is, so here I am creating object by using new operator. So when object is created, it will call the constructor. So control will come to here. So now what is the value of this I? 15, and what is the value of this J? 20. So now that I value is assigned to A. So this is nothing but which object A means OB object A, because this constructor is called because of this object creation, and this object is referred by OB. So now this OB A value is what? 15. And then OBB value is what? OBB value is what? That is 20. Ma, up to this you understood, ma? Ma, up to this you understood or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And next, after initialization, then it will call. This method is executed. So what this will print? This will print ob.a. Now ob.b before call. I am printing ob.a value. Ma. So ob.a value is what? It will print 15, and then it will leave some space. Then it will print ob.b. So what is ob.b? 20. So first time it will print 15 and 20. And next time I am calling ob.meth means it will come to this function. It will come to here. But here I am passing ob. So here I am passing ob. So what that is going to be assigned to this o. So what is this meaning? Test o equal to, actually this is a test. You try to understand the test, and then o equal to OB. So what is the meaning of this? Here what I am passing OB, so that is assigned to test O. Yeah? So the meaning is test O equal to OB. So that means one more reference that is also going to point the same. So first initially this is pointed by OB. So now one more reference that is also point the same memory location. Up to this you understood, Amma? So now O.A into 2 means now O.A and OB.A both are same. So now this has become 30. Okay. And then next to O.B by 12 means then this has become 10. And then after that, it will print 30 and 10. Got it? Okay. Next part, static member and instant member. Static member, a certain member should only belong to what already you know what is a static member now in C++. Static member means that is called as class member. For this class member, separate memory area won't be created for each and every object. So only one common area is created, and that is accessed by all the object of that class. So this thing you have already studied in your C++ itself, no? You understood what is a static? For normal data member means for each and every object, memory is created for that particular data member. Static data member means that is called a class member. So memory won't be created for each and every object. Only one time memory is created, and that memory is accessed by all the objects. Am I correct or not, Pa?
Yes, ma'am.
So here
Once,
also the same. Tell me, pa.
once for a class, it will be created, ma'am.
Yes, only one time it will created, and whenever object are created, all the object are only sharing that memory, ma. Only can access one that common memory. The separate memory area won't be created for each and every object. Separate memory area won't be created for each and every object. If I am here, I have a member class. I have a member A and B. No, so this is a normal data member. So when I'm creating object OB, separate memory area is created. If I'm creating one more object OB1 means separate memory area is created. So that is pointed by OB1. But if it is static means only one time the memory is created and that memory is accessed by all the objects. So that is called static. Got it, Appa?
Okay, ma'am.
So certain members should only belong to the class and not be part of any object created from the class. So certain members should only belonging to the class. That means it is common to class. So that is, it is common to all the objects, not be part of any object created from the class. So each object created will have its own copies of the field and methods defined in class. So that is normal member. So that member is called instant member. And they are static variable. So variables belong to the class and not belong to any object of the class. And it is initialized when the class is loaded at runtime. When class is loaded at runtime, that time it is initialized. So instance variable means a field of an object are called the instance variable. That is the member of field of an object are called the instance variable. The value of instance variable in an object comprises its states, and the instance method, the methods of an object are called the instance method. And then a static method means a method belonging to the class and not belonging to any object of the class. So instant member means instant variable and instant method which belonging to object are collectively called instant member. So static member means it's a static variable and static method are collectively known as static member and are declared with the keyword static. If the instant variable of two distinct objects have same value, this is an important. So if the instant variable of two distinct objects have same value, then these two objects are in the same state. Then we can say that if two objects variable are having the same value means, then you can say the two objects are in this same state. And then when a member is declared static, it can be accessed before any object of its class are created. Can you create an instant variable without creating object? Can we access instant variable without creating object?
No, ma'am.
But a static member we can access the static member without creating object. So when a member is declared static, it can be accessed before any object of its class are created and without a reference to any object. So method declared static have several restrictions. So the restrictions are they can only directly call other static method. So from static method you can call only the static method. By non-static method you cannot call the non-static method. Understood, Amma? If you return any method as static means within that static method, you can call only the static method. You cannot call non-static method. Got it, Amma? From main function, if I want to call in this program, okay, I will write one program. Test1. I write the class name is test1, and then here I have created this test1 have two function void function. Within that I try to print something function FUN. And now how many functions this class test1 are having, ma? The class test1 having how many functions, ma?
2, ma'am.
Two.
One is a main function, another one is function. So the main function is a static function, and this function is the non-static function. If I try to call the function like this, now both are the member of test1 only, no? So I can call without creating the object. But if the method is static, means I cannot call this function without create the object. I will show you if I try to call, what will happen. Test1.java. Test1.java. And now what it's telling for non-static method FUN cannot be referred from static context. Okay, so if you want to call you cannot call non-static method from static function. You cannot call non-static method from static method. So but if it is a static void function, static void function, so then it is possible. So from static method, I can only call the static function. Got it, Amma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first restriction, they can only directly call other static method. They can only directly access a static data, and they cannot refer to this or super in any way. So you know what is called this, and we will see the super keyword later. So it cannot be referred by this as super. We will see this static block and static method in next class. So up to this, do you have any doubt? Up to this, do you have any doubt? Tell me, say yes or no, no or yes?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Why? Because it is a little bit. I need some more time to explain this concept. So that's why we will see this concept later, ma'am. Okay. So if I started now, it will take a time. I cannot complete. So we will see this concept next class. Okay. Okay, Arnata.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
If you feel any previous topic I want to explain again, I will explain it again, because we have 5 minutes time, no? Okay, all the concepts are okay, wow. No need to explain again. Okay. You tell me, ma'am, when we will have an actually for internal 25 marks, we have to conduct some quiz or exam. Up to this class methods, we will conduct one test, ma'am. Okay, you tell in what day you can write the test, up to this class and methods. Actually, the attendance are only now 90 student or something 92 student like that. But that exam, if you are not written, then your mark has become 0. Tell me, ma, when you are going to write up to this class and method concept. For the next class, I will complete the method concept fully. So then you have to write one test. That test may be in the form of quiz or in the form of writing a program or in any form. You tell me in what date you are all be comfortable.
Monday, ma'am.
Monday. Okay, ma'am. Okay. So be ready, study well. So sometimes if not possible to conduct on Monday, surprisingly I will conduct the test on any days. Okay, ma. If you are absent means then it is considered as a 0. Your mark is a 0. So out of 25, the management told you have to conduct some test, or you have to you have to conduct a quiz. Based on that only you have to give mark, and we need proof for that. So like that they have told. So so as a staff we have to conduct a test. Okay. So Monday
Yes,
be
ma'am.
ready. Monday be ready. But if Monday is not possible, then surprisingly I will conduct a test at any time. Okay. Okay, pa. Thank you, pa.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tell me, pa.
Ma'am, if it is a test, will it be like during the class timing, or you will like upload some question paper in
No, no.
Google Classroom?
Mostly in class timing only I will conduct test, and I will also discuss with some other staff how they are planning and how they are doing. I discuss with some other staff. Based on that, I will conduct. Mostly I planning to conduct during class time itself, and I also get the suggestion from my colleague.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay, pa.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma.